Welcome to Sylvan Lake, the Sylvan Lake Gulls!
Without further delay, Gulls baseball fan, let's welcome the first ever coach in our history, Jason Chatwood.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your Sylvan Lake Gulls!
Home sweet home it has been for the Sylvan Lake Gulls as they are riding into 6 straight games in a row on a 5-game winning streak, looking to wrap up this 6th straight with another win here this afternoon. It's a matinee afternoon game. Good afternoon, baseball fans. Glad to have you watching FloCollege Gulls baseball. You got Jim Claggett. I am Cale Clark. This broadcast brought to you by Visit sylvanlake.ca. And the Sylvan Lake Gulls, that is right, they are riding in on a 5-game winning streak, absolutely heating up right now, and just looking to wrap things up this weekend on a good note with a big win before a nice day off tomorrow, and then right back at work on Canada Day, which is Tuesday evening. So, yes, Jim, a big win last night against Swift Current 57s, 8-0. Hunter Jones had a little bit of a payday himself.
Yeah, he had a bet with his dad, $10 a strikeout, and Shane actually did come up here and help me in the booth.
Yeah.
And so I said, well, there's $80 out of your pocket. And he goes, yeah, okay. But I just heard through the grapevine, my ears, that Dad only paid out $50 of that.
Oh boy! So he.
So he's down 30, and somebody's going to have to collect for him. So anyway, it was a lot of fun, and it was one of those games that I want to point out that these 5 games are games against teams that, on paper, the Gulls are the better team. But they're also games that you have to win.
Yeah.
And they've won them convincingly in different manners. And I think that shows the versatility of this team. And let's see what happens. I mean, Tuesday the test will come because Medicine Hat rolls into town, but you still have to focus on these guys in the orange today.
Well, it's a huge confidence boost for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, but just as you see them huddling on the field on your screen, you're probably noticing, what are they wearing on their hats? Well, it is Sully's 5th birthday today, so we are celebrating here at Gulls Field a big 5th birthday party for Sully the Gull. He's got his friends. He's got Barkley the Bulldog from the Black Falls Bulldogs of the BCHL. He's got Wooly Bully from the Red Deer Rebels of the WHL, and he's got a couple other friends in there as well. Speaking of friends, this is a good friend, I think, of Hunter Jones, another pitcher coming out on the mound. This is Dylan Meitner starting things for the Gulls, and it's good to see him get another start on the mound. This is Meitner's, and just let me find it here. I believe this is Meitner's 4th start.
Yeah, he had to miss one because he had a scratch on his eye. He thought it was just something on his eye, just dirt or something, so he started to rub it, and it just got worse and worse. And as Kai Rempel described it, he looked at it and went, whoa, okay. So that was pretty bad. So.
Yeah, 4 starts, 16 innings pitched. He's got 15 Ks on the season. He's looking for his first win, though, as a starting pitcher for the Gulls. And this is who he's going to be facing for the Swift Current 57s, leading things off. Jose Ayala at center field, Wilmer Henriquez and Silas Hilton out in left field tonight, as a couple Ayalas in the lineup here for the Swift Current 57. So we'll see what they have in store for the Gulls as they look to respond, and I think in a big way after being shut out last night 8-0 against the Gulls. Looking for a big response.
And they were competitive, and then the Gulls bats just took over. Like they just started just pounding the ball everywhere. Like I said, and they were doing the long and the short of it. Simon Baker with the home run over the left field wall, hits the top of the wall and bounces over. Next at bat, everybody's expecting, okay, he's going to unleash one again. No, he lays down a perfect bunt down the third baseline and beats it out easily. It's like, okay, so he can hit him long, he can put him down short. The thing is that Hunter Jones got a lot of support from his teammates on defense and on offense. A couple of double plays, or at least one double play for sure, that erased the threat. It seemed every time he got into trouble, he got some help. So that's, I'm sure, what Dylan Meitner's looking for today is that same kind of defense. And I don't see any change in the defense. Looking at the guys that are out there today, they're just as good as anybody you throw in there. So we'll see what happens.
You know, and what I love about the Gulls right now is you can tell they've been having a lot of fun lately. I mean, it's always fun when you're winning, but you could tell they're just having a blast. Look at what they're doing today. All the players playing are wearing birthday hats other than the pitcher and the catcher. So I think that is something really cool. That is just, you know, guys having fun at the ballpark and, you know, just not taking this too seriously at the end of the day. They're making the most of it.
They're still having fun.
Wrapping up a long 6 nights in a row at Gulls Field and just having fun with it. And I love that you look at every player on the field right now wearing a birthday hat over top of their ball cap.
That's the first time I've seen that.
Yes, it is the first time.
And this is grounded down to Rowan O'Connor, hat and all, and one pitch and one out. As I got to ask these guys now, how does it feel like playing with a little pointy hat on your head?
I'm surprised that hat stayed on his head.
It did
the
whole time.
I'm kind of wondering. I'm really wanting to see what's the longest it's going to take to have one of these hats fall off of a guy. Like I'm wondering how long it'll take for a hat to fall off somebody.
Well, can you imagine if it was the pitcher and just halfway through his lineup,
it just falls over,
and it just falls over his eyes?
Yeah, it wouldn't be good. I'm assuming that's exactly why he's not wearing one.
I'm pretty sure that. And the catcher, obviously.
Yeah, with the helmet.
You know, he can't be doing that. So I was hoping maybe the umpires might wear one.
Yeah, that would have been
okay. Now I wonder if Wyatt McKnight and Junior Garcia, no, not Junior, Cam Diaz usually goes over and coaches first. I wonder if they'll be wearing their little birthday hats.
Yes, we'll have to wait and see.
We'll have to wait and see. The tension builds. And another ground ball to O'Connor, and he shows off his arm. And so far it's Dylan Meitner playing catch with Junior Garcia, and then Junior Garcia says, oh, you go ahead and hit this, and we got a shortstop that'll take care of that.
Yeah, and then the next guys playing catch is Bryce Turner and Rowan O'Connor. So just 4 guys playing catch right now for the Sylvan Lake Gulls.
So far everybody else can keep their hats on.
Yeah. Enjoy the party.
Yeah, enjoy the party.
Enjoy the weather. Talk about a beautiful day.
Is there cake? Is there birthday cake?
There's got to be somewhere.
They told me there would be cake.
Well, we'll keep our eyes open for you, Jim. We'll make sure we get you a piece.
I do like my cake. Cake and pie.
What's your favorite kind of cake?
My favorite kind of cake. There's a one that's made. It's called a tuxedo cake.
Okay.
And it's basically chocolate, and then there's kind of like a white fondant in the middle, and chocolate cake itself. You know, it's tasty. Black Forest. That Black Forest is an easy fallback.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. I mean, birthday cake is birthday cake, right?
Cake is cake. Yeah. At the end of the day, I won't say no.
Although now I'm at the point where I have to call the fire department to let them know we're lighting candles. And this is grounded back to Mittner, and he turns and one hops it, and there, that's a play
we see a lot actually.
You either fire it or you lob it, and I think Dylan was kind of caught in between the two of them. So Silas Hilton gets all the way over to second on that error being charged to the pitcher, Dylan Meitner.
Well, that's the thing with pitchers when they feel the ball, it's they're so used to throwing it hard, and then they try to finesse it into the first baseman, and then that's where it just goes all haywire on them, and they can't make a play. So unfortunate break for the Gulls, but they've been looking pretty good so far, other than that last play.
This is Luis Ayala stepping in. He's the catcher tonight, or this afternoon, for the Swift Current 57s.
Yeah, I want to make an over and under bet on how many times we're going to say tonight rather than this afternoon.
Yeah, well, that's one.
This is our very first afternoon game of the season.
That's right.
So we're so used to being at night. It's going to get hard to get used to.
Then we've got one later on in July.
We do have one later
which
in
is
July,
a
but
Sunday
it's a
game, but
doubleheader.
it's 6 o'clock.
Oh, that one's a 6 o'clock game, but we also have a doubleheader, I believe, late in July as well against Fort McMurray.
Yeah.
Which is the 27th, yeah.
Right.
But then the week before, as you mentioned, that's a 6 o'clock Sunday game.
Which is kind of bizarre, but we just show up.
Yeah, we just show up. when they
Hopefully
tell
on
us to.
time.
Yeah.
You know, usually we are.
I mean, I got here on time.
Oh, you were. I didn't think you would be here.
I'm a little surprised myself.
I thought you'd be in your backyard suntanning.
Yeah, yeah.
2-1 to
get
count. No, you wouldn't get burnt.
Not me.
No. 2-1 to count. Clayton Wandler is the home plate umpire this afternoon. Jeff Chipley, the crew chief, is over at first base, and Graham Greider is the umpire down the left field line, which he is not at right at the moment because of the base runner. A 2-1 count on Luis Ayala. He sends this out of play over the 57's bullpen to even the count at 2-2.
Packed crowd here on a Sunday afternoon on a long weekend. I think this is our best crowd of the season.
I think so.
So far. There's a lot of people on that Burmo on the left side. Wow, like that is a lot of people.
I just
and look at this. Look at that shot. I mean,
Holy
there
smokes,
is not a
people.
lot of grass to see from there.
Beautiful.
Everybody's taking in an absolute gorgeous day. There's a bouncy castle too today.
Oh, where is it?
In behind the
there it is,
Gulls bullpen.
Okay. That's what the pitchers were doing. Okay. And a walk given up there by Mittner to Luis Ayala. So base runners on first and second with 2 down here in the first inning. And that brings up the shortstop, Rydell Adair.
And kids are having a even extra special time at the ballpark today with that bad boy. Look at that.
Is that a
absolute
boat?
monster. It's a boat.
It's a boat.
It's a little ship.
Okay.
Blow up ship.
No ship.
No ship. Oh, boy. Oh, classic. That was a good one. I'll give you that one. That was a really good one.
Thank you. Thank you
well
very
done.
much. I'm here all week, folks.
Yeah, well, you have been.
Yeah.
You get a day off tomorrow.
Try the liver. Check your tip your waitress. There you go. I noticed they had kupasaw and pierogies.
Ooh.
I saw the
What, today?
Rob Manka and his intern Kai. They were eating kupasaw and pierogies.
I'm going to have to get me one of those.
1-1 the count on Rydell Adair, the shortstop for the 57s. And that's inside and misses. Ball 2.
Well, it's been pretty quiet in the outfield, but let's take a look at the outfield for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. Matty Fung out in left field. Noah Connings will play center yet again, and then Bryce Hampton in right field tonight for Sylvan Lake.
And this is grounded down. Jaden Flores is going to make the throw over to first, and the Gulls get out of the inning after having 2 outs and giving up an error and then a walk. Comes to nothing as they sit down the 57s. The Gulls coming to bat in the bottom of 1.
For more than 40 years, we've been there, helping Canadians find the extra space they need to grow and to create new memories. Sentinel Storage. Buy Canadian, store Canadian.
for blowing a tire coming around third base last night. That was entertaining, and he did make his way back to third, but not without some drama, because there was a lot of, the baseball got thrown around a lot, and a lot of things were happening all at once. That's Rydell Adair, and he pulls the first baseman, Gus Kane, off the bag, and that allows the speedy Noah Connings to get to first base, and I think he would have beat that out anyways. So I don't know what our official scorer Dave is going to do, but I'm not going to give him an error.
I would say that's, a base hit.
I'd say I think he was going to beat that one out.
It's
so
close, yeah.
in my humble opinion,
Fair enough.
as an amateur, very amateurish scorer. This brings up Bryce Hampton, playing right field this evening, or this, that's two. Okay, I said, I'm going to mark them down. The evening scorecard is Jim twice now in one, not even a full inning. There we go. I'm winning.
You are winning.
I guess
what do you
I
win?
am.
Do you want some sunscreen?
No, where's the cake?
You could win some sunscreen.
I can win some sunscreen. Yes. Well, we'll talk about that.
We will. We will talk.
Yeah.
Again.
0-1 the count on Bryce Hampton. And the throw over to first. And the ball just trickles out of the glove of Gus Kane, whose dad apparently is in the crowd. Come and watch his son play some baseball here in Sylvan Lake.
Yeah, it's a great little story. We got kind of a heads up there from our public address announcer, Joe Whitbread, and a very kind gentleman from Buda, Texas. So that is hit well into the left field gap. And there's another base hit for Bryce Hampton.
So being from Texas, I'm sure he and Gus Hull said, "Thank you, sir."
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Lots of sirs in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, apparently just a super nice guy and just happy to be at the ballpark watching his son play for the other team. And just with the way the road trip worked out, this is one of the best spots that he could catch a game. And then I heard he's going to apparently Banff for Canada today. So he's taking in this is his first time in Canada too, by the way. So he's taking in the full Canada experience right on Canada Day long weekend. Yeah. And what better place to be than right here in Sylvan Lake and then heading to Banff the next couple days.
That's the exact same story that one of the Gulls pitchers, Josh Dolich, told me. This is his first time out of Canada. And he's enjoying it, and he said, I'm going to Banff tomorrow to check in the sites. Him and I think Brock Tiarina and a couple other guys are headed down there to check out the sites in Banff.
Nice.
I said, you'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
So a little flare over to the shortstop Adair by Brock Tiarino for the first out. That'll bring up the catcher, Junior Garcia.
And we take a look at Junior Garcia's numbers. 237 on the season. He's only had 38 at-bats. And 7 RBIs so far. Looking to make it 8 if he can score in. Connings over at second. I would think a base hit into one of the gaps in the deep outfield would score Connings.
I believe, hopefully he can stay on his feet.
Yeah,
I know.
as long as he doesn't blow a tire.
I'm not going to rag on him anymore.
Yeah, poor guy's probably heard it enough last night. Probably heard a little bit more today.
All night long.
Yeah, man. They won't let him down for it.
Probably when he got up from the table to walk maybe to the bathroom, somebody probably helped him.
Yeah.
You know, say, we don't want you falling. You know. Knowing baseball players or athletes and teammates as I do, I think they didn't let him off the hook lately. So. But why should they?
Yeah.
That's all part of being a teammate, right? 1-1 the count on Junior Garcia from Boise, Idaho. And that bounces low and outside. The count 2-1 now. I still can't get over how many people, and there are people still coming in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Still getting their tickets scanned.
Yeah.
Wow.
Some of the seats are filling up, and the berms are just packed with humanity.
Yeah, it's just a gorgeous day.
Oh, a good off-speed pitch there by Faruya.
You know, and a lot of just it's so nice for families to come out on the afternoon game too. Just it gives them something to do, gets them out of the house. You know, you don't have to worry about getting to bed at a good time. Like, you know, you can go home, you can make dinner after the ball game. Like, it just puts in a day.
This will be odd for us.
Yeah, I know.
And the double steal going on here. And safe over at third is Noah Connings, and Bryce Hampton went over to second on that throw.
Garcia did go down swinging, so that's a strikeout to Junior Garcia. However, both batters do advance into scoring position now, and Jaden Flores has a chance to open up things here in Sylvan Lake.
And he's had a good bat of late.
He has. He sure has. Yeah, we were talking a little bit off air about, okay, what are we going to do when we get done at 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 4:30, 5 o'clock? What are you going to do for the rest of the night?
I'm just on my way here at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, well. We'll get used to it.
Oh, yeah.
For today. It's nice to be here in the afternoon.
Yeah, I actually like it.
I won't have my my usual 2:30, 3 o'clock nap today.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Well, I hope not, or else if you do, then I guess I'm on my own.
Well, yeah, you would notice if I
would notice.
Hopefully you would notice.
Just nods off in the middle of the broadcast.
And Jaden Flores sends this into left center, and Silas Hilton slides over, makes the grab, and brings the Gulls rally to a close with no runs on 2 hits there, and 2 men left on base. 1 complete. We are scoreless heading to the second. And then now he's out running around getting his rehab done. So
Slowly but surely, he'll be back.
And this is popped up out of play and into the seats here, and everybody just kind of duck. It's underneath the seats there somewhere. Everybody's looking.
Well, this one lady.
It's over there.
Yeah.
Oh, I got it, says this guy. And
It's
now
in
the
the
kid's
feet.
going to come in.
Kid's going to come in, yeah.
I'll get down there and get it. No, maybe not. He's hanging around thinking,
maybe if I hang around enough,
they'll give it to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No. Full count here on Turner, and that misses high and inside. So a leadoff walk for the Gulls first baseman to set the table for his teammate, third baseman Matt Brandt. I was going to say something really important, and now I can't remember what it was. So
Something really important. Oh, shoot.
No, well,
Don't you love when that happens?
Jeez. As the old saying goes, I was happy the other day. I walked into a room and I knew exactly why I was in there. It was the bathroom, but a win's a win.
A win, that's a win.
You know.
Yeah. Well, Matt Brandt, he's had a couple chances at the plate this year. More than a couple, obviously. 224 batting average. I'm sure he's looking to kind of bring those numbers up a little bit, as we know he can put a charge in that ball. 6 RBIs and 1 homer so far on the year for Brandt.
The 2-0 pitch to Matt Brandt. Misses outside the count now 3-0. Rowan O'Connor, the shortstop, is on deck. A nice buzzing crowd this afternoon. Gotta love it. And a 4-pitch walk given up by Furuya. So runners on first and second, excuse me, as my throat starts to clam up on me. This is kind of identical to the first inning where there were runners on first and second, but a pop up to the shortstop, a strikeout, and then a fly out to left field resulted in 0 runs for the Gulls with 2 men on base. So here's another chance at it to cash in some RBIs.
Well, and you know what Matt Brandt does really good this year is he knows how to get on base. Yeah, he might not have the hitting, but he knows how to take the walks. He leads the team in walks so far this year, so it's not really a surprise to me that Matt Brandt is on base and that he did, outlast the pitcher in that count.
Oh, that's high and a little bit inside. And Rowan O'Connor had to bail out of the way. Matty Fung is the batter on deck. The Gulls looking to cash in on a couple of base runners.
Yeah.
They stranded the last inning. Now they've got 2 more back out there. So I love the guys on the bench. They all got the birthday hats on. That's cool.
That's great, yeah. It's good to see.
I mean, if you ever see any of the videos of the Savannah Bananas, and there's the boys on the bench, and you can just...
A couple of them have
there's
3
a
on
few
their
there.
hat.
Yeah,
A couple looking like dinosaurs down there.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, kind of a late decision almost looked like by O'Connor to swing at that.
Yeah, it was.
The count 2-2 now.
From up here, I think that would have been a ball if you watched it go by, but could be wrong.
Nobody out here in the bottom of the second inning. And that misses inside. And Rowan's kind of going, wait a minute, once okay. Second time, And pitchers they're not going to give up pitching inside on you. So get used to it. The ball's going to come near you, I guess, is the message. I'm sure the coaches are telling their players, don't worry about it. And O'Connor says, well, okay, you're going to pitch me inside. I'm just going to rip it down the left field line. There you go. Take that.
First run of the game for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. RBI single for Rowan O'Connor. That's how to take advantage of that.
Ladies and gentlemen,
That'll bring up.
You say Maddie, you say Fung. Now batting number 4, Maddie.
I love that. I'm sure you at home loved it too, if you didn't catch it. When Joe Whitbread says Maddie, the crowd says Fung, and they answered.
They like this young man.
They do.
And it's hard not to.
Yeah, he's a good kid. His parents are awesome.
Yeah.
Treating us with bread and
Fortune cookies.
Hospitality.
Yes.
Great, great people. Can't say anything better about the Funk family, really. They're just...
These good people.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Good people, and they got a good son there playing baseball for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, and he absolutely loves being here. He could run for mayor, although the mayor of Sylvan Lake is pretty good too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, she's a huge supporter of the Sylvan Lake Gulls. Billet too, I believe, or used to be a billet. She's not still a billet.
Nope, she still is.
Is she? Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure who her player is, but
Yeah.
we should find that out.
We should.
I'm sure we could. Not right at the moment, but you can't Google it, can you?
Well, no, I mean, I got some connections.
You got some connections. And Maddie Fung steps into this one deep to right field, and that's going to move Matt Brandt over to third. And Rowan O'Connor stays over at first. But a fly ball out for Maddie Fung, the first out of the inning. We go to the top of the order, Noah Connings, who had a base hit and stole a base and was stranded at third in the top half of the first. Throw over to first by Ferrua.
Yeah, Connings went 1 for 4 at the plate last night. Crossed the plate himself twice.
He sends this sky high up against the screen, and that is Luis Ayala. And he kept his mask on the whole time, which
Yeah.
is unusual.
Yeah, that doesn't happen very often. I mean, he's got a kind of the full goalie mask, and decides just to keep it on. I think the goalie masks might be a little harder to throw off your head than just a typical catcher's mask, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
Well, I was talking to Cam McLeod because you remember the other night when he threw his
when he
mask
threw right
up at his
into where
helmet,
he was going to
and
catch.
he was standing right there, and I said, I was watching that, and we were kind of like, oh, don't step on those. And that's a foul ball there by Bryce Hampton. But he said, no, he says that's the first baseman's job is to grab that stuff. I said, really? No, I'm not sure if he was kidding or not, but like, Turner, aren't you grabbing that? Okay.
Okay.
We'll have to get the other side of the story. We've got one side, we got the catcher's side. I just threw it. He's got to get it out of the way. And a throw down to second, and this is the play that the Gulls use numerous times. They do count the run, and I just don't know why catchers throw it down there. I will always question that, but you know what? What do you do? Anyway, the inning comes to a close, but the Gulls put a couple of runs across. They have a 2-0 lead after 2 complete, and Swift Current coming to bat. on the challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, it's cool because got to know Eden quite a bit there in the dressing room that day, and told me about his girlfriend and him living here in Sylvan Lake, and that they actually are a billet to one of the former player as well, as that is grounded out and a throw out to first in time.
It was Wilmer Henrique with the smooth play over at third base to get Aiden Macaris. That'll bring up Brock Tiarina, the designated hitter. You know, last night, Shane Jones showed his baseball acumen. We were looking at the breeze and how it was coming in from kind of right field and kind of pushing everything to the left a little bit.
Yeah, kind of like it is today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said, you know, if anybody's going to hit one out today, they're going to have to start it out towards, you know, left a little bit and then let the wind push it out over the fence. Well, no sooner had he said that Simon Baker hits one to the left field, and the wind knocked it down, but it knocked it down right on top of the fence, and it carried over for the home run. So, thank you, Mr. Jones.
Yeah, the wind has a huge effect in the game.
Well, and there's not a lot blocking it.
Oh, that was sent, wasn't it? Oh my goodness, Brock Tiarina
he
turned on that ball.
Yep.
It just turned on it a little too much. That went foul territory, but he got all of it.
Never mind the wind for that one.
Yeah, the wind, even against the wind, I think that had a chance to get over.
Well, you know, that was a thing that a guy that I caddied for on the Canadian Golf Tour, the Canadian PGA, and he always said if you hit it pure into the wind, he said it'll still travel if you hit it pure.
Yeah.
So there's an example on the baseball side of things. Is Tiarina pured that one, but he pulled it foul. 2-2 the count. That is more kind of like my drives. Pulled. Yeah.
Pulled with a little draw.
No, not even a little draw. And yeah, it's just, yeah, it's ugly. It starts right and it's never coming back left. Full count on Brock Tiarina, the designated hitter. And he sends this out to shallow center field, and Ayala gets the jump on that and scoops it and makes the grab for the second out of the inning.
Good catch by Jose Ayala to not allow a base runner in this inning for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. They're up 2-0 so far early in this ball game.
See, most of these guys, you know, you don't know the tendencies of the batters, so the outfielders basically play straight away. You know, so they've got, that means
there's a lot of room to run.
There's a lot of room to be covered, not only for the right and left fielders from their position to foul line, but the center fielder to his right and to his left. That's when you got quick guys out there. And Junior Garcia misses on that off-speed pitch by Faria. 1-1 the count. 2 down here in the bottom of the third inning. Gulls with a 2-run lead over the Swift Current 57s, looking to make it 6 in a row on this 6-game homestand. And that floats in there at 68, but high. The count 2-1. So then we get a day off, and then we've got Medicine Hat.
Yeah, that's
the
not gonna be
Mavericks are
easy.
in town for 2 games.
This could be a couple tough games and tough stretch for the Gulls coming back off their break. But you know what? I think it's just perfect timing. You know, you get 6 straight nights in a row at home, and then you get a little day off to kind of reset, rewind, and then get ready for a tough team like Medicine Hat Mavericks coming in, who are second right now in the Eastern Division. 17-9 is their record. So, you know, they're pretty close with where the Gulls are as far as wins and losses. And that is in the gap.
Yep. Junior Garcia with the base hit to keep the inning alive. I liked how Calvin Bellows, you put that graphic back up again, if you can, Calvin, when you get a second, after showing us the replay. Demanding guy, aren't I?
Yeah.
If you can see that graphic again of the Gulls' upcoming schedule for the next 3 games, I want to point out to somebody that it's not a spelling error. Okay, maybe not. Anyways, they had Canada Day, spelled D''E'. I
love it.
Hey. There we go. Anyway, that was what I was doing. That's what got my attention. It's like a dog and a squirrel. Want to know the count on Jaden Flores, Gulls second baseman. He flied out to left field his last at bat.
And then also another day off after Medicine Hat on Thursday before Energy City Cactus Rats make an appearance to Gulls Field, who have given the Gulls a good run for their money this year.
Now, I mentioned this last night. You weren't here, so you wouldn't have heard this, but I saw something on Facebook or Meta or whatever you want to call it, and that the Cactus Rats will soon be hosting a game, I believe July 9th at their new stadium.
That's their set date for the home opener officially, hey?
I think it was July 9th. I could be wrong. It might have been the 7th.
I think, well, I knew it was going to be in July because that was their target date last time they were here. Talking to their head coach, Jordan Blundell, he said July was the set target date for the first game to be played at that new stadium. I don't know what that new stadium's called. That's something that I don't know.
I can
might
find
be
out.
online, yeah.
No, I can find out because I know the guy who posted
That's hit very high and deep.
Jaden Flores is looking at that, and he's
that
going to go
is
bye-bye.
Gone.
See ya, adios, amigo. A two-run shot by Jaden Flores as he stood and watched it to make sure that that went out. And it sure did, folks. A two-run homer for the Gulls' second baseman.
Had a couple homers for Flores this week as he has been just lights out here at Gulls Field with the bat as of late. And wow, did he ever send that to the moon and back. That had no chance at staying in the ballpark. Absolutely smashed.
Yeah, no kidding.
Like that went, that's one of the highest and furthest home runs we've seen here at Gulls Field. That got lost in the clouds. That's how much he cut underneath that ball. Wow. Impressive.
July 5th, July 5th and 6th coming home
this is
in
another
1
well-hit
week.
ball, Jim. This is all the way high at the wall, and that is caught. A very similar flight path that Jaden Flores had, but that just didn't have enough juice from Bryce Turner. So Swift Current 57s escaped this inning. two different names. Once they're calling the whole stadium as a whole something different from what the actual field's called. Yeah, tough to say.
This is way above my pay grade.
I don't know. It's called one of those names anyway, probably.
Let's put it this way. They don't have to be the Gypsies and playing wherever they can find a place to play soon. And I'm sure they'll be happy about that. 1-2 the count here on, who is that batting right now?
Ryder Adair.
I think that's Rydell
Rydell
Adair.
Adair, sorry.
Yes. Okay, so on the WCBL website, we've just got confirmed. It says Henry Singer Ballpark. So
Henry Singer Ballpark, okay.
yeah. You know, I read a story the other day, and this is nothing to do with the cactus rats and the ballpark and what its name and everything, but I heard that a lot of places now are not naming streets after people, just because there might be some background story there that somebody will dig up and say, wait a minute, now we got to change it all.
Yeah.
So I kind of agree with that. It's like, you know, just don't do it, I guess. As Rydell Adair grounds out for the second out of the inning.
Well, you see that a lot in the States, especially where you go to winter in Palm Springs, California. I see a lot of the street names are named after, you know, some famous people. Hope Drive in Palm Springs.
Well, yeah,
after
they
Bob
got
Hope.
a whole bunch of presidents, too.
Yeah, and President's
So,
Streets.
Yeah, they got Washington, they got Ford, they've got Jefferson, they've got Lincoln.
Yeah, Jefferson's the one that my parents are off of
Yeah.
when they go down there.
So, I mean, are you safe in that regard? No, because a lot of those guys had some dark clouds over their history as well.
Yeah.
So, there was that, you know, that slavery thing and, you know, that kind of stuff. 2-0, the count on Casey Prychak, the designated hitter. Now the count is 3-0 as Tyler Hryn with his first inning of work here after taking over from Dylan Meitner. 4-0 Gulls lead as Prychak taking all the way on that 3-0 pitch.
And I think when the Gulls come to bat, I think will be the end of the night is Shunta Faruya, as it looks like they're warming somebody up pretty steadily in the Swift Current 57's bullpen. And that is a walk to number 15, who has come in for Casey Prychak.
That's Casey
That
Prychak.
is Casey Prychak. You know what I did? I'll tell you what I did. I forgot to add the 1 in front of the 5 on his number. So that's
that'll throw you off.
whoops. My apologies, folks.
That's okay.
That's classic.
And
Classic Hale.
Warming up is Max Noto
Yes.
in the bullpen. Eagle Eye Calvin Bellows spots that right away. He sees more than we do. It should be the other way around. He's in a box.
He's in a truck, a dark truck.
With no windows.
Yeah. Lots of cameras, though. Those are his windows.
That's what he does. That's his advantage right there. 4-0 Sylvan Lake for the lead here in the top of the 4th inning, 2 down. Tyler Hryn working on the mound for the Gulls. 3 innings put in by the starter, Dylan Meitner. And his record, no runs and 1 hit. And did he have a couple of strikeouts? He had 1 strikeout. Yep, 1 strikeout. The 0-2 pitch down in the dirt. And to count 1-2. You know, I heard something interesting. Rowan O'Connor was talking to me yesterday after the game, and I said, how are you liking this Sylvan Lake field? And he says, after 6 games in a row playing on dirt and then coming back here and playing on turf, he said, you know there's not going to be a bad bounce. And this is sent down the left field line, but foul right into the corner. Matty Fung will retrieve it, and throws it to the fans and the kids playing in the bouncy castle.
Yeah, I love that. Threw it into the the fan zone where the bouncy castle is. That's
Yeah.
so a kid has a souvenir. That's awesome.
There you go.
That's just what Matty Fung does, isn't it? That just goes to speak to his
Heads
character.
up. Yeah.
Here's a ball, kid.
So anyway, yeah. So Rowan was saying it's so nice to play on this infield because you know
what you're
you
gonna
can. And he said you can get away with a few extra things. And he didn't go into specifics because he doesn't obviously want to give anything away. But he's, I'm sure there's like you can play it differently. You can cheat a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe is what he meant by that. So 1-2 the count on Gus Kane, the first baseman for the Swift Current 57s. A throw over there by Hrin. And a good scoop by Brace Turner.
Tyler Rin's got 15 Ks so far this season. That's grounded out to Rowan O'Connor, and he'll finish the play over to Flores to finish this inning as the Sylvan Lake Gulls still hold a 4-0 lead. They'll come to
And this is why my wife and I retired early so we could travel.
Yeah.
Because you just never know, and I'm aging myself, but you never know if somebody gets a health issue, one or the other, and then you can't travel.
Exactly.
And I've seen that so many times with people that I know. It's
so
like
my
well,
parents, yeah.
Yeah. So you just when you get the opportunity, grab it and run.
Yeah, exactly. Life's too short. You
It
just
is.
never know. Every day is not granted, right? So you gotta take advantage while you can. And I'm glad that you and Janice have been able to do that. That's awesome. You guys have got to travel and
Thank you.
go to some pretty cool places. I mean, obviously your favorite being Palm Springs in the wintertime.
Well, my wife, and I've told this story before. Maybe I'm repeating myself, and I will because I do that. On our 25th anniversary, I told her I'd take her to Italy. This was a long time ago. We've been married 43. And she said, great. And I said, on our 50th, I'll come get you.
Yeah, you did say that.
And her exact response was, don't threaten me with a good time.
So you got 7 years. You got 7 more years of freedom until you had to go get her.
No, she's still around.
Yeah.
So we haven't quite got there yet.
Yeah.
But that might be on the agenda. 3-1 the count here on Rowan O'Connor.
Oh, you guys haven't gone to Italy yet.
No, she really she loves Italian food, and she would love to go to Italy and just the culture, the food, just the vibe. But we're thinking Portugal, and possibly Spain.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I keep trying to convince her that Ireland would be a great place to visit, but she says it rains all the time. I said, well, not all the time. There's an hour or two each day when it's not. But I said, why would it bother you? You'd be inside. I'll be out on the golf course.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was the end of that conversation, if you can imagine.
Yeah, fair.
And that's ripped into right center field by Rowan O'Connor for a base hit to keep the inning going for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. Bottom of the fourth, they have a 4-0 lead over the Swift Current 57s. And that'll bring up Matty Fung, who flew out to right field. There should be almost an over-under for Matty Fung, whether he swings at the first pitch or not. If it's in the zone, he's swinging.
Oh,
if it's
100%.
out of the zone, he's looking.
See if this is in the zone.
And it was out of the zone, and a
And
throw,
let's
and
see
that's
later.
way out into right field, and that could be Rowan O'Connor getting to third base. Look at that
He's
stride.
going. Look at him.
My
Wow.
goodness, that man has got long legs.
Holy cow. Do those ever stretch out? I mean, that stretch of a stride has got to be 2 times the size of me. Like, that is incredible.
But here's the funny thing.
Look at this.
I know.
And
but
here
look
goes
at
the
him.
stride. Boom, boom.
But you
boom.
know what is? He says. I asked him about that. I said, "You got that long stride." He goes, "Yeah." And he says, "My mom sees." He goes, "You're running too slow." Yeah, but you're covering 40 yards every pace.
Yeah, you're
like, come
yeah,
on, man.
no doubt. 4 or 5 feet at minimum.
Like he just stretches it right out. He's like an antelope. But that was a good play. A bad throw there, unfortunately, from Luis Aiello ended up, and there's so much room out there in foul territory and behind first base and everything else. It's like, no wonder you got to be real sure of your throw. So that puts O'Connor over at third in scoring position as Matty Fung now gets serious. 2-1 the count on the Gulls left fielder. The veteran, Matthew Fung. Shout out to Rob and Debbie, who are here. Maybe they're listening, maybe they're not. They get to watch their son unobstructed views and uninterrupted hearing because they don't have to listen to you and me.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. Best of both
That's
worlds.
a win-win.
That is a win-win.
3-1 the count on the Gulls left fielder, Matty Fung.
Well, you're talking about how, as Matty Funk takes that in for a walk, and he'll advance to first. You're talking about how, yeah, you and your wife want to go to Italy. Well, you would have really been happy about the dinner I had last night because it was an Italian wedding.
Was it?
Last night. So
did you have Italian wedding
there was
soup?
some bread. No soup. There was no soup, but they
Come on,
had,
it's called Italian wedding soup.
I know. They had the bread though. They had the bread. They had like the meat.
The meatballs?
Not the meatballs.
No, the
just
pasta
like the
sauce?
meat tray, like
the
charcuterie
Yeah.
boards and stuff. And
Okay.
yeah, and then of course just a delicious pasta, penne pasta with some
Okay.
meat sauce.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And oh yeah, it was delicious. And then prime rib.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah,
Jeez, you
it was
covered a lot of bases there.
yeah, it was good.
Yikes.
Prime rib was outstanding.
They didn't have lobster?
No lobster.
You
I
were
wish.
you were the only lobster.
I was the only lobster there. Yeah,
lonely
I was
in that.
alive.
I was lonely in that pot.
Yeah.
It's just me swimming around on my back.
Yeah, exactly.
Woo-doo-doo.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm still a little
Yeah,
loopy.
good one.
Yeah. 0-2 here on Noah Connings. Can't help myself. I told
know,
you
clearly.
that. You know that.
Oh yeah, it's all good. Who knew this would go 2 days?
No, I did.
Yeah.
And a ground ball played by the third baseman, Wilmer Enriquez. And he gets Noah Connings over at first, but Connings gets himself an RBI as Rowan O'Connor left right on the sound of that crack of the bat. Matty Fung got over to second, so another run for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. They have 5 on the board right now, and they've got a base runner over at second, as we mentioned, in Matty Fung. And this is Aiden Macaris.
Macros, yep.
I always want to say Macaris.
Well, it's because I think I got it in your head so early on in the season that I'm like, I don't know, it just rolls off the tongue.
There's lots of room up there, I can tell you. There's room for more people up there. And he grounds this one down to Enriquez. And the throw on the run. And a grab by Kane and an out. Just like that. There we go. But a run for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. Another one. 5 on the afternoon. a little bit of work here. As there's still about 3 or 4 guys sitting in the bullpen, not doing anything but just waiting for their opportunity, because you don't want to warm up too soon. And it's a beautiful day to just sit there and watch some baseball. 0-1 the count on Donovan Borg. He's a big, tall kid too.
Yes.
And a swing and a miss there. 94 miles an hour from Leroy Taveras. LT in the house.
Donovan Borg from St. Clair, Missouri, goes to Cameron University.
And a strikeout there for Leroy Taveras, as he just paints the inside corner and sits down Donovan Berg.
Yeah, that's a great response and answer back for Taveras. I'm sure that feels really good for him right now on the mound to just, wow, watch that movement on that ball. Just a big sinker coming in up high and then drops into the strike zone. That was a great pitch. And you know what? We've talked to Leroy obviously many times, and he's not one to be afraid to admit that he's an emotional guy. Sometimes he'll keep it cool on the mound. Sometimes he'll show a little more animation. And tonight he looks like he's calm, cool, and collected, and he likes that play from his infield behind him as Flores makes the play to Turner for the second out of the inning.
There you go. Leroy, you're right. He's not a shrinking violet. That's for sure. And he says, given the situation, if it's something where I can be excited about and I complete the task, he says, you'll see some energy expended on the mound. As the third baseman, Wilmer Enriquez, steps in. He's 0 for 2 on the afternoon. Base runner is over at third and flails away at that one.
Yeah, he's happy right now. He's watching his body language. He's loving what he's doing right now. He's getting the swings and he's keeping it away from the batter.
I think we might get to see a good celebration if he strikes him out.
I think we might get something here if he.
And that's pops right out of the glove of Junior Garcia.
He lost it for a moment, but you heard either Taveras or someone said, "You're good," as it was just right above him.
So 1-2 the count on Wilmer Henriquez. Oh, and
Taveras wanted that. Oh boy, you saw it.
Yeah. Junior held it there for home plate umpire Clayton Wandler, and it was called a ball. So the count 2-2. And Enriquez just gets the bat on that to keep the bat alive. 92-mile-an-hour fastball on the outside, and the defensive swing there from Enriquez. 5-0 Gulls lead it. Looking to close out this top of the 5th inning. And a ground ball over to Rowan O'Connor. He fires a dart over to first base, and a good solid inning there from Leroy Taveras and the rest of the Sylvan Lake Gulls as you see Rowan O'Connor make the play. No runs on one base hit. They leave one man stranded. 4.5 complete. Gulls with a 5-0 lead, and they come to bat.
Happy birthday to Rhett, Oakland, Nick Back, Beckett Bow, Ella Kondratoff, Tyler Kondratoff, Elliot Hofferth, River McGinnis, Cohen Dixon. And ladies and gentlemen, your eyes to the Gulls dugout right now as Sully's friend Jared Waldo, our promo crew, and yours truly lead happy birthday to Sully. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sully. Happy birthday to you.
dictates the fact that you were able to make another trip around the sun.
Thanks so much for
And the
joining
whole
us for
family
Sully's
gathers round and
birthday.
gets to
5
laughter, you
years
were bound to be let
old.
out a joyful sound
Attaboy,
and sing
Bird
that
Brain.
stupid song.
We got a card for you and
Happy
everything.
birthday,
Thanks
now
for
you're
signing the
1 year
card.
older.
Come get autographs and run the bases with Sully after this ball game, powered by
You
Equus.
did not accomplish much.
Well, I don't know if you caught any of that. Sully's 5th birthday. And they had a little sing-along for Sully, and I'm sure he appreciated it. He is a seagull. He can appreciate just anything, you know. They are, very particular. This looks like a new pitcher, by the way. Well, maybe it isn't.
Nope, that's Max Noto.
That is Max Noto. Okay. Sorry. I should be looking on the monitor here, and I don't. I can just see a lot better than trying to squint and say, okay, who's that out there? It's only taken me 4.5 years to figure out that I could probably just look at the monitor and get a better shot. So
We're still almost in denial how spoiled we are up here.
well, yeah.
The broadcast booth with all the camera angles and the things that our team, Calvin Bellows and his production team, have done for us here at over the years. It's been incredible.
Yep.
The absolute work that they put in every single night. So thanks, guys.
Yeah, they do
Great
all the
work.
work. We don't.
Yeah, we just
I'm sitting on a
Try to
nice
look
comfy
pretty.
chair and looking at sunshine and baseball. Oh,
I know.
life struggles,
tough
right?
day.
Yeah, tough day at the office. Well, yeah.
Brock T. Arena at the plate. See what he's got in store here for the afternoon, as he so far on the day is over 2.
But both the pop up to shortstop, nah, but
The
he
hit
hit
to
the
center
center
field.
field was well hit.
Oh yeah, and he's turned on it a couple times foul,
Yeah.
where he's got a lot of wood on the ball.
So I have to say, I just follow up on and I also echo your sentiments with regards to our crew. Calvin and Mitch in the truck, and then Martin to our left over here, and we're operating the camera. You guys, fantastic. You make us look good. You can't make us sound any better because we are who we are. So at least we're clear when we make our mistakes. It's good audio. So, there's that. What is there like a fire going on here, or is that barbecue?
That's barbecue, I think.
Okay, because it's getting a little smoky here, folks.
I think somebody might have burnt something.
Okay.
Glad I just got my brisket tacos.
Yeah, they smell
They're not
pretty
burnt.
good. They look pretty good. Full count. Yeah, something's El Fuego.
Hopefully nothing's on fire. Everybody's seeming to be pretty concerned, though, looking back that way.
Well, there's some black smoke going on over there.
Yeah, that's not good.
I don't know. This is grounded down the first baseline. And
Yikes. The umpires are starting to take notice,
I
obviously.
think, yes, something's definitely happening over on the right-hand side here. So, ground ball by Tiarino, by the way. So, for the first out, Junior Garcia steps in.
That is a lot of smoke.
What the
You
heck?
can't really see it on your screen here back at home from the camera in the field, but my goodness, we're getting smoked out here.
It's, I quit smoking decades ago.
Nothing like a little distraction for the pitcher trying to throw down to the plate, with all this in the background.
Smoke screen going on.
Smoke screen, yeah. It smells burnt too. I stick my head out the window. You
Yeah,
can
you can
smell
smell something on the fire that shouldn't have been on the fire. Looks like it's reduced now.
Yeah.
So, Calvin Bellows just said the barbecue shack just over by as you come in the Gulls field.
Yeah.
Caught on fire.
Oh, yikes.
Apparently they put it out.
Oh, that's good. Oh, wow.
And
That's
Junior
hard.
Garcia smashes this deep but foul. He took 3 steps out of the batter's box and looked back and went, oh, that's so close.
Our vehicles were in danger there. It did not miss your truck by much. It hit a couple vehicles right of your vehicle.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, I think it bounced off an SUV just right of your truck. So
Junior?
and my car was in front of your truck.
Oh,
So,
is it?
yeah.
Oh, so you know where to look.
So I know where to look, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was a little worried for my car there for a second. He absolutely smoked that, usually.
Yeah.
Speaking of smoke,
Yeah, speaking of smoke.
smoked it.
And
he
rips
smoked it
this one
again, but he's a foul again.
Yeah.
Into the parking lot it goes. Holy cow.
Okay, if I'm Max Noto, I make a mental note to myself, do not throw that pitch inside.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, wow.
Do not work inside on this man.
Junior Garcia, 2 opportunities, and unfortunately for him, just foul.
He does have a base hit. He's 1 for 2 on the afternoon. Scored a run. Yeah, the catcher way over to the right this time. Hey, Max, you ain't throwing inside, buddy.
Yeah, we're done with that.
Thanks for that, Calvin.
We played with fire and we almost got burnt twice.
Speaking of the fire and the smoke and the whole thing's going on. Yeah,
what's going on?
El Fuego. The 2-2 count on the catcher, Junior Garcia. And yeah, he's staying outside now. It's like, oh. Yeah, all it takes is once. And the smoke has dissipated.
I wonder how the barbecue shack caught on. I mean, obviously, the barbecue must have really got a lot of flame on it, and then it caught the siding, or I don't know how that would have worked.
Should have skipped the dishes.
Should have skipped it.
And there's a third one hammered foul by Junior Garcia. He's pulling to the left like I pull to the right on the golf course.
Yeah. You almost got to wonder he's going to get played out after hitting 3 bombs left field.
Well, that's at least 7 pitches, and 3 of them have been smashed to the left field, over the left field wall. I think he just wants to go fetch one in the bouncy castle.
Oh.
And he stays alive with that one. So a great at bat by Junior Garcia. Lengthy for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
Jaden Flores is the on deck batter. Comes and fetches that ball. Well, it's cleared off. The flames have subsided.
Smell is still in the air. I can still smell it.
Yeah, you can. Something that shouldn't have been cooked was cooking. And this time Garcia gets underneath that and skies it towards second base, and David Jinks settles underneath it. So an interesting at bat for Junior Garcia, but it ends with a pop up to the second baseman for the second out of the inning.
That's a tough break too. I
Yeah,
mean, he had such a good at bat there.
3 hard hit balls. The first one was close to staying straight. The other 2 were really, they were wide.
Yeah.
But the other one, if that came close to my truck, then I understand what you're saying. I know where my truck is.
Yeah, it didn't.
I try and hide it behind something.
I know.
Usually,
Well, I thought usually where you and I park, we're well left enough and deep enough that you really have to get a hold of that ball to get it even close. And
guess what?
apparently it can be done. Junior Garcia. Just luckily it wasn't. Yeah, it didn't ricochet off your truck. Went off an SUV, literally 3 vehicles over.
Okay.
That white SUV I saw bounce off of.
That's too bad. For the SUV.
Yeah, I was gonna say for you.
Yeah, no.
You trying to get insurance claims here, Jim?
No. There's another one that I'm not sure who that hit. If that was Luis Ayala or if that was the home plate umpire Clayton Wandler. I think it might have been Luis because he's got his mask up.
Yeah.
He's thinking.
Let's take a look at the replay here and.
Boom.
Yeah, right
right, that's the second one in a row because Junior Garcia got one off his helmet too. And so Luis is kind of going, yeah, this is no fun.
Yeah, I don't like it. My ears are ringing.
I'm just going to keep this mask on when I go back to the bench too. 0-2 the count though on Jaden Flores. As he turned on one earlier this game and sent it over the left field wall for a 2-run homer. That gave the Gulls a 4-0 lead at that time. They have added one more since then. And they are leading 5-0 here in the bottom half of the 5th inning.
Yeah, he sent it out of Earth's orbit and back.
Oh, yeah.
And then it carried.
And another one that could drop in. Yeah. Base hit number 2 for J. Flo.
Yeah, J. Flo's having a night. Or a day, I should say.
He's having a day.
Already.
Now, that siren is a song that's being played here in town. It's not because the shack is on fire.
Yeah.
And Bryce Turner.
It's the rally siren, I think.
Is that what it is?
I'm just taking a guess. I don't actually
Okay.
know, but they usually play it in big moments. They usually play it when Tyler Boudreau came out on the mound.
Yeah.
And he was, going to make an appearance in the game. That siren came on, but this is popped straight up behind, right around the home plate, and they can't come down with it. As
well, Enriquez and Kane, the two corner infielders, were converging on each other right here. You can see on the replay. And it's like somebody has to call that and take charge. And I don't think either of them called it. And Kane tried to get his glove on it at the last second and just couldn't corral it. So sometimes that comes back to haunt you. Sometimes you get away with it. But the good news is they didn't have a collision because there are two big men running at full speed towards each other. That's usually called football. But they know it's going to happen. And a throw down to second. And that ball scoots out into center field, but a stolen base by Jaden Flores, who's making an early run at the player of the game honors.
He sure is.
For the second time on this homestand.
Yeah, second time in 3 nights.
There you go. So a good stolen base. A good throw there by Luis Ayala, but not in time to get Jaden Flores, who's over at second. Bryce Turner, the count 1-1 on the Gulls' first baseman. That misses up high. Max Noto is the pitcher on the mound. He took over from the second pitcher of the evening, or from the first pitcher, the starter, Shunta Furuya. And that is up high, and Jose Ayala scoots in from center field, makes the grab, and brings the inning to a close. No runs on one hit, one man left on base. 5 complete between the Gulls and the 57s. Swift Current coming to bat. to start things here in the 7th inning. That'll bring up the first baseman, Gus Kane, who made a great play on that double play at the tail end of that double play to make the catch and keep that from heading over his head and keeping the inning alive.
Yeah, not only did he have to stretch as far high as he could, but while also maintaining that foot on the bag.
Yeah.
To record the second out, or the third out, I guess, for that inning.
And so these first basemen, they have to make that decision. Do I stick my foot on the bag and stretch as much as I can, or do I jump and hope that I come down and land on the bag?
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I would approach it. They probably have a different feel about it. This is popped up into foul territory, left of third base, and Matt Brandt. Where is that Matt Brandt?
I don't think so, because he had
that's Brooks.
Bachman
That's Brooks
to fill in.
Bachman.
Yeah, Brooks Bachman came in relief in the batting order. So
that's right.
Good catch there by Brooks Bachman to get himself into the game.
Thank you for reminding me.
Of course.
David Jinks, the second baseman, comes in now to face McCloskey with a base runner over at first in the form of the designated hitter, Casey Prychak. And McCloskey just fires one in at 94. Got the approval of a couple of fans over here. You getting suntan on your palms?
Trying to get a suntan going, yeah.
On your palms?
On the inside arms.
Oh, on the inside?
Look how white they are.
Oh. Okay, did you not learn your lesson the other day about what happens to white skin when you go in the sun? It turns very red there, Larry Lobster.
I'll keep an eye on it.
Okay, you do you.
I'll keep an eye.
Just trying to help, you know. 1-1 the count.
Sometimes you just never learn, Jim.
No, I know.
You know?
I'm not one to give advice about learning lessons, let me tell you. 2-1 the count here on David Jinks. Thank goodness you have sunscreen and aloe vera handy.
Yeah, it'd be a shame if I burnt and didn't use it.
I didn't see you put any sunscreen on there, but, you know, I'm not telling tales out of school here.
Oh, I'll tell you one thing for certain. I put it on my face this morning.
When you woke up?
Can't afford it, yeah. Can't afford that ever again.
I'm going to guess, we're talking attendance here. Calvin's in our ear saying, hey, we want to guess the attendance. I'm going to go with 1697.
Oh, wow. That's high. 1697? Oh.
Okay, well, no fair giving him a hint.
Hey, the fans don't know that back home.
Well, I know it now.
So I'm going to go 1783.
He's got a sunburn.
1783.
And a 2-2 pitch, and McCloskey, I'm not sure. He got the strikeout, but he doesn't look like he was too happy getting the strikeout. Now, this is not the reaction of a pitcher who just got a strikeout. Oh, my God, I just threw that, and the guy swung at it, missed, and I got a strikeout. Yeah. How awful that is.
Interesting, yeah.
Well, I'll have to ask Mickey about that one. So, what is the attendance? 1,899. Wow. So you couldn't get one more person in here, huh?
Yeah. Couldn't hit the 1,900.
That is impressive.
1,873.
Well done, Gulls fans.
Yeah. That's a good day at the ballpark.
Absolutely.
Busy.
Well, 2 down here in the 7th inning is Mickey McCloskey working here against the right fielder, Donovan Borg. Base runner over at first, Casey Prychak. He took a walk to lead things off here in the 7th. McCloskey just popping the glove.
He is a hard thrower. 95, 96.
Look at the size of these guys. So, I mean, like, they're all 6'3", 6'5", 6'6". They just, everything goes into that pitch.
It's the second walk of the inning there.
Yeah. So that brings us to the top of the order, Jose Ayala, who's 0 for 4 or 0 for 3, I should say, on the afternoon. And Matt Hape is going to have a little chat with his tall, lanky pitcher. And this is one of the opportunities. And let's look at this meeting at the mound here, because Matt Hape is 6'4", and he doesn't get to look a lot of guys in the eye. And he can't look Mickey McClaskey in the eye, because look at McClaskey's got 2 inches on him.
Looks a little taller, doesn't he?
Yeah, and then Rowan O'Connor standing right behind Coach Habe. He's around 6'4", 6'5". So we've got a basketball team out there.
Pretty much.
O'Connor's 6'3", okay. So, Mapp's on the, he's on the downside. Okay.
Hape is kind of, more on the top part of the mound there.
Anyways, yeah, I remember when I talked to him, I said, look at all these guys. He says, I know. He says, I can look guys in the eye. So then Hunter Jones is going, hello. Yeah.
Yeah, and Big Bess.
Me and Matty Fung.
Not so big anymore.
No. Okay, well, it sure looked like McClaskey had a lot of height on him. He says Mickey's 6'3" as well.
Could just be that Matt Hape
optical delusion
in a little
on my
bit of a
part.
lower spot on the mound. Tough to say. But that's still a tall pitcher, absolutely.
Well, and then Josh Dolish, I talked to him. He's 6'6".
Yeah, he's got to be the tallest guy on the team, I think.
Him or I think is Jason Sturba. I think he's in that area as well.
Nick Vest is 6'5".
Yeah.
Simon Baker 6'4". Tyler Rinn 6'4". Trip Ray is also 6'4".
I'm seeing a trend here.
And Josh Dolich is 6'6". He's the tallest.
He is the tallest. He plays basketball. He says always when we go home for summer, he says always playing basketball. Go home at breaks. Go out in Texas, play in the fresh air. 0-2 the count, and that's fouled off by Ayala.
Just fighting enough for that ball to stay alive.
And he plays beach volleyball, plays basketball. Always loved basketball. He says, I never thought I'd going to be 6'6", but he says I really enjoy the game of basketball. And him and his buddies. Now this is a 20-year-old, folks. Keep this in mind. Love playing pickleball.
You know, pickleball is one of those universal sports that at any age is
You're
gonna enjoy it.
It's not for old people that can't move. I mean, it is, but it isn't.
It's actually a good workout, pickleball. I've played it. It's not easy.
Oh no!
Like
You play against people that know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They put the ball and make you run.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good cardio for you.
It's not easy on the joints either. Like
No.
there's a lot of side to side, back and forth, stop and go.
It's played at a high level. It's like anything else. Is impressive.
Yeah,
folks.
I've had a good sweat on from pickleball.
The 0-2 pitch on Ayala, and that's behind his head.
I mean, great catch by Cam McLeod. Or sorry, Junior Garcia. That's absolutely incredible that he could stand up that quickly and just at a 94-mile-per-hour pitch and just glove it out of midair.
There we go.
Boom.
I got this.
Okay.
Base runners on first and second. A 1-2 count on Ayala. And he grounds this foul down the third baseline. A few guys just hanging around the bullpen right now. Nobody doing anything of any serious nature.
Soaking in the sun. I do have Cleary Simpson over there, I think, talking.
Yeah. He came to get the ball, but I think that was
Josh Tucker.
Is that Josh Tucker?
That's Josh Tucker, just by the way he's walking.
Slowly made his way back with the ball. And that's grounded down to Bachman across the diamond, and a great stretch there by Bryce Turner to get the out. As that throw pulled him a little bit off the bag, but he made the catch over at first and ends the inning for Mickey McClaskey.
lead things off. So I wonder if somebody got hurt over there.
Well, yeah, you never know. I mean, it's a bouncy castle and it's kids. They could have bumped heads or something, or landed awkward, sprained an ankle, sprained a knee, that kind of thing. That's what we're hoping for. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon in central Alberta, folks. Blue sky, sunshine, green grass. Home team winning a ball game here in an afternoon that as soon as you finish here, you can go cool off in the lake.
Yeah. It's
There
one
you
of those
go.
days you kind of want to.
Yeah. 1-1 the count on Aiden McCarris.
Yeah, he's 0 for 2 so far since coming in for Bryce Hampton. I believe he's had 2 at-bats since, or maybe he's just had the 1.
Well, he came in the third inning.
Yeah, so yeah, the 0 for 2.
1-2. This is his fourth at-bat, I guess, huh?
Third.
No, I third because I marked Bryce Hampton's base hit in Aiden's spot. That would make sense as to why that says that.
But both times he did ground out to third before getting thrown out at first. Base runner over at first for the Gulls. Gulls looking to add to their lead, and that is hammered pretty good to left field, but settling underneath of it is Silas Hilton. And that will be out number 1 of the inning, as Hilton didn't have to move very far for that one.
No. Well, basically line drive out to left field. That'll bring up Brock Tiarina, which is Jimmy Pelche
Jimmy
instead.
Pelche now. Yeah. So Gulls are, 6 in a row, 6 straight nights here at Gulls Field. You're going to change things up. You're going to give everybody a chance to kind of get into this game, try to save, just kind of spread out the workload evenly, right? Try to spread out the workload and not have too many guys hitting and playing too much.
Ambulance is up on the concourse now.
Oh, that's not good. So someone not on the bouncy castle. Maybe it's somebody that's...
Heat stroke is what I'm hearing.
Oh, okay.
Not sure how.
Yeah, that's not good.
No, but I mean, it's good that somebody had the wherewithal, I guess, is to call the ambulance and say, look, this is not good here. So, and it can happen.
It is a hot day.
It's a hot day, and there's not a whole lot of shade, folks.
Yeah, and that's the thing with
you got to come prepared.
The way Gulls Field is designed is that it's a south-facing ball diamond. So the stands are all directly getting beamed in the sun.
1-1 the count on Jimmy Pelche. And now if he stays in the game, this will be his last appearance as a Sylvan Lake Gull, because after this, Jimmy has to go home. He's going to do a little rehab on an injury.
Yep.
And I saw him on the bench today. He had a nosebleed. He says, I don't know what's going on here. He's just dry, and it just started bleeding. And now he takes a ball between the 1 and the 4.
He's having a tough day today, isn't he?
So, okay, folks, I'm leaving. Thanks for the send-off, the bloody nose and ball on the back.
Right on the left shoulder. That could not have felt good.
So no matter what, Monsieur Pelche, bon chance when you head back to La Belle Province. What have we got here? Junior Garcia, who's hoping that Max Noto has forgotten all about throwing inside to him and will throw inside.
I think that's exactly what the catcher and Noto are talking about right now.
Remember
It's
this guy?
This guy last time, he almost made us pay 3 different times with an inside pitch. So let's get on the same page here, and let's try not to allow him to turn on one here. Yeah.
That would be a good
That's
plan.
exactly what they're talking about.
That would be some good strategy, I think, on behalf of the backstop duo of Ayala and Noto. So players on first and second. Noah Connings and Jimmy Peltier, and Junior Garcia waiting to unload on something that is just on the inside of the plate.
Oh yeah, you know they're not going to make it easy on him, that's for sure. With
No.
After having that meeting, I'm guessing Junior Garcia's like, oh, they know who I am. They remember me. They're going to make this tough on me now. But
Well,
he answers things, and that's grounded to third baseman, who makes the play in time over at second. It's right, or sorry, that's Vilmer Henriquez made the throw. And they get the base runner of Noah Connings out at second, or sorry, Jimmy Peltier.
Jimmy Peltier. Noah made his way over to third
Yeah.
on the ground ball to the third baseman.
I just forgot to move him up on my score sheet.
That's okay.
Yeah, that happens.
I know all about that. It's creative scoring is what I call it. Freelance. Free-form scoring. Interpretive scoring. And a line drive right into the mitt of Wilmer Enriquez. And that brings the inning to a close. No runs on one base hit. There is 2 men left on base, and we are through 7 complete. 5-0 Sylvan Lake leads. Swift Current coming to bat. at third base. And Call paints the outside corner. He gets it. 0-1 the count. 5 runs for the Gulls on 8 hits, 1 error, 2 hits on the afternoon for Medicine Hat. No, for Swift Current. Oh, and this is trouble as that lands. Oh my goodness, that was a mess. Okay. We got to see the replay on this.
Well, they
one.
still got the out, but barely.
There's no infield fly rule because there was a runner on first base. So the second baseman, David Jinks, lost the ball, and then it bounces, and then the pitcher grabs it. Or no, it's the second baseman, Jinks, grabs it and makes the play over to second to get Bryce Turner. That was a weird play.
That was a very weird play.
Yeah, okay.
Just overran the ball and lost it in the sun, maybe.
Yeah, well,
I don't know.
I don't know about the sun, maybe. I don't know.
The sun's up there, yeah. I don't know.
Rowan O'Connor steps in. He's got a couple of base hits and an RBI this afternoon, and he's been solid on the defensive side, handling 7 ground balls here today.
7 ground balls,
and
yeah.
not an error to speak of. Not a throwing error, didn't boot anything, and just got between the 1 and the 6 there, or down low on the hip. So this young man from Toronto has faced 3 guys, and he's hit 2 of them. And Rowan's feeling that one as he's just trying to walk it off now, and they're going to give him some time to get the kinks out of that one. And Rob Manka is getting the wave back, say, hey, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. As he came out of the dugout and was ready to go and see if the shortstop needed some help, but he did not. And this will bring up Matty Fung. And first pitch in there is a strike.
Yeah, Matty's 0 for 2 so far on the day. He did walk back in the 4th, however, but didn't get much further than that.
Imagine you, as a batter, you might be a little leery stepping in there against a guy who's just plunked 2 guys.
2 guys, yeah.
Out of 3.
No doubt.
And say, well, let's hope he doesn't go 3 for 4. 1-1 the count on Fung. Yeah, swing and a miss there. 1-2 now. Noah Connings is the on-deck hitter if he gets to that point. Unless they turn to double play here. And Fung with a good eye. That ball missing high.
He's got such a great eye for the game, doesn't he?
Does.
He's just so incredible to watch when he steps into the batter's box. One of those guys that does not get rattled very easily and stays composed. Doesn't get nervous, doesn't try to force a swing.
Full count now on the Gulls left fielder. And a swing and a miss and a strikeout there for the new pitcher, Jorge Mazaleon. This is the center fielder, Noah Connings. He's been on base a couple of times with a couple of base hits and an RBI. And that's high and inside. Just a little control problem there for the pitcher, Jorge Mazaleon. Right
You
back
heard
at
that.
him,
Yeah,
yeah.
you heard that.
And now they plunked the
time
third
goes
guy.
awful.
And Wyatt McKnight is letting the home plate umpire, Clayton Wandler, know something. And he just kind of gave him the stare. It's like, he's plunked 3 of our guys.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's different. It's different when you hit 1 guy. It's different if you hit 2 guys, but to hit 3 guys in 5 batters.
Yeah.
It's not a good record.
And I'm not saying he's trying
No,
to hit
of
them,
course not.
but you might want to have the coach come out and have a little chat. But he's not even moving.
But then he can do that. He can throw it right down the middle.
And then he throws off-speed pitch for a strike.
Well, Macris could really open things up here with a swing of the bat.
Oh, wouldn't that be, as they say in the business, poetic justice?
Yeah. Karma?
That too. 1-1 the count on McCarris. Bases loaded, 2 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Gulls with a 5-0 lead.
Yeah,
The umpires in the crowd did not want that call. I didn't think that was even close to the strike zone. And McCarris steps out to collect his thoughts here. They count 2-2. That misses. Oh, there's so much.
It's a lovely bunch here, isn't it?
Yeah,
On a Sunday afternoon.
They're a bunch of jokers. What was wrong with that one?
Here's the 3-2 pitch, 2-away. Everybody's running.
And inside. And so Aiden McCarris will get himself an RBI with the walk. So this young man is just, he can't seem to find the strike zone, and when he does, well, no, he doesn't. He hasn't really found the strike zone, has he?
It doesn't look like Swift Current's sending anybody to the bullpen. In fact, you look down towards their bench, and it looks pretty empty right now, just for who's standing, and there's not a lot of guys on the bench right now.
So the fans pulling for Jimmy Pelche to get himself a base hit here. Potentially his last at bat as a Sylvan Lake Gull for this season. As I mentioned earlier, he's headed back to Montreal.
Yep, this is last day. Last time seeing the Pelche sway.
Is that what it's called?
I'm not really sure anymore.
I'm not really sure anymore. Well, if you want to put a name on it, yeah.
Pelche
sway. Okay. One and two the count on Pelche. And a base hit.
Why not drive in a couple runs? That is last at bat. 2 RBIs for Pelche. Opens things up even more. And it is now an 8-0 ball game.
There you go. So Jimmy Pelche going out on a good note. And this is Junior Garcia. Mr. Mazzaleon better be careful about throwing inside on this one, because that will end up in the slope pitch diamond.
Yeah.
Want to know the count on Junior Garcia?
Oof, he wanted that one.
Yep, he did, didn't he?
That was a good pitch.
Swing hard at this one.
Yeah, that was a good pitch. Just missed it.
9 hits on the afternoon for the Gulls. 8 runs to show for their hard work. And a good pitch there by Mazzaleon. Ties up Junior Garcia. Count 1-2. Jaden Flores is the batter on deck. But he won't get a chance to bat this inning, as a strikeout there for Mazzaleon brings the inning to a close. But the Gulls add 3 more to their total, an 8-0 lead over Swift Current, and the bat.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there you go. Fair enough.
But yet he'll be the first to admit that he actually doesn't like batting or really
No.
any other parts of baseball. He likes pitching,
He
and
loves
that's all
to
he
pitch,
likes
yeah.
about it. And so,
But he wants to.
but of
he'd
course,
love to
when
swing
you
a bat.
gotta have fun, and change things up every now and then, and try
Yeah.
an at bat if you can, right?
I wonder now Tyler Boudreau would be interesting to see at the plate.
Yeah, it would be kind of fun.
He'd be a little intense, I think.
He'd be one of those guys that wouldn't surprise me. That would hit one out of the park either.
You know what?
The way he's so competitive, like his competitive nature about him, I would not be surprised if he actually gets a good
Yeah.
base hit or something out
That's
of
a good point.
at bat. You know.
I kind of agree with you on that one. Casey Prychak is in there to face Simon Baker, and he watches that come by at 96.
Yeah. Did he even see it come by at that
Well,
that point?
I think he heard it go
Yeah.
by.
I think we heard it go by from up here.
This young man can throw a ball. But as was pointed out last night, and a strikeout or another strike there for Simon Baker. As was pointed out last night, Shane Jones made this very, very clear. He said, there's a lot of guys in this league that can hit 93, 94, 95. It's the off speed that throws him for a loop, and a
Like
strikeout
that.
there for Simon Baker.
Just like that, with that off
83.
speed, 96 to an 83. Good luck.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like, that looks like the fastball. Oh my God, that's not even getting here. Okay.
Yeah.
Jeez.
How do you even get ready for that? How do you set up for that?
Well,
Like it's-
yeah. Ask some of these
You got to
hitters.
start swinging as soon as the guy isn't even releasing the ball yet, and then when he comes in with an off speed, by that time you're already swinging.
Yeah. See, this is where, I'm not saying we're going to run into a problem, but we always have pitchers up here. We need to get a hitter.
We do,
up here.
yeah.
But it's hard to get a hitter up here
Because
because
they could play at any point.
they could be, you can see Coach Chatwood going, okay, where's so-and-so? And he's up in the booth. Why would he be? No, okay. Yeah. So we know we don't want to get anybody into trouble by bringing them up here. We always make sure it's clear that you guys aren't going to get in the game, are you? Nope. Okay. Then come on up.
So there's now 3 straight off-speed pitches by Simon Baker.
Yeah, he's coming back with the fastball here.
He's got to.
90-something.
But you also got to wonder if Gus Keene is expecting it.
Well,
He was, but
he was swinging
that was just a good pitch by Baker, not allow him
right
any room.
inside
Yeah, like how do you swing at that?
very carefully.
Well, yeah, like that was a full golf swing. That was a Happy Gilmore almost
That
on
was
that
a
one.
Happy Gilmore. Did you see on the NHL draft, Happy Gilmore introducing
yeah,
the
he
first pick for
introduced-
Boston?
Yeah, Boston, yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, and then they messed up the audio at the end of it when the guy was being introduced to the Boston management to say thank you.
Well,
Oh, I don't know about that.
there's
But-
a thank you for the Gulls. Anyway, Simon Baker strikes out the last batter. The Sylvan Lake Gulls, 6 straight wins here at home in a row, and they will go into an off day looking to get ready for a hungry Madison Hat team. Wow, incredible game yet again by the Sylvan Lake Gulls. I think it's safe to say, Jim, they have found their game.
Well, they have found a game. I'm going to preface this with the fact that you've beaten 3 teams that you probably should beat.
Yeah.
And that's a good
true.
sign.
That is
You
true.
didn't take the foot off the gas against a team that you thought, we just have to show up, put our gloves out there, and we'll win the game. The Medicine Hat Mavericks are a different measuring stick. And these 2 games at home against the Mavericks will be kind of a telltale sign, I think, at the more than the halfway point here of the Gulls season, in my opinion.
I think you're right. I think it's a good measurement to see, okay, how do these guys measure up to, teams that are just as skilled, if not maybe even slightly more skilled than you. And if you can handle them well, then that's going to be huge, moving forward, especially getting close to postseason baseball. And I'm kind of excited to see what the Sylvan Lake Gulls will bring on Tuesday and what they'll have on Wednesday. I think a off day is going to be good for them tomorrow, just to reset, rethink, and then get ready for some really good baseball coming down the stretch. So we're going to hand things off to Jared Wilder with our player of the game.
And we usually laud for the offensive stats and the offensive line. Today, you were selected by Jim Claggett and Cale Clark upstairs due to your defensive game. A lot of balls coming your way. Defensively, you were sound, you were tight. Just talk about today's performance.
I just tried to stick to what I know how to do, and I feel like I'm all right at defense, so I'm just going to keep trying to get comfortable at short and keep making the plays I know how to make.
You know, over the last couple of games, you kept Swift Currents to less than 10 hits, I think, between 2 games. So we're talking about the defensive side. Obviously, even for yourself, you know, you've had a good bat this season as well. But when you get the pitching, when you get the defensive play, it really makes it difficult for teams to come in and play against you, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. I think when everything's clicking, I mean, it's just like it's so hard to beat our brand of baseball when we're playing it correctly. And I think right now it's been a good showing of our brand of baseball. And if we just continue that, I mean, I don't think anyone can touch us, even on their best days.
Well, you know what? We've done 6 here at Gulls Field, 6 in a row at home. We've had family here. We've had so many great fans. Just take us what it's been like playing here over the last 6 games during this homestand.
Oh, it's super fun. I mean, even with the weather, it's been a blast. All the fans coming out, showing out, all the families in town. It's been super fun, meeting everyone, just getting to know more people. It's been an absolute blast, and this homestand, I can't wait to continue it.
Well, we've got 6 in a row, and we'll give you the day off tomorrow. How's that sound? Ladies and gentlemen, Rowan O'Connor, your EG Auctions Player of the Game.
Yeah, Rowan O'Connor, as you mentioned, Jim, fielded 7 really great plays over at shortstop, and you know, he did a really great job defensively, but he also did a really good job offensively. He had a couple base hits and an RBI in there as well. He was hit in that last at bat. That stung him a little bit, but I think what's going to make him feel good is 6 straight wins and player of the game.
Yep. you know, there you go. I mean, the 6 wins is the big thing.
Of course.
Yeah, and the player of the game is like the the whipped cream or the cherry on top. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm talking food. I probably should because I'm hungry
right
now.
Hungry.
So,
it's almost dinner time for us.
But here's the thing. You know, as Wally pointed out, we usually go for the offensive stats or with a pitcher that has had a solid game on the mound. Today we went with the defensive guy, as you mentioned. 7 plays at shortstop. Not a bad throw, didn't bobble anything. He looks really comfortable. He looks really smooth. And we've been spoiled with shortstops between Jonah Weisner and Gavin Roy. And Rowan O'Connor had to step into those shoes, and I think he's done a fine job.
It was a busy stretch of 6 straight nights of baseball here at home, but the Sylvan Lake Gulls did not disappoint. And you know what? Sully the goalie got the best birthday gift of all, I think, with that 6th straight win. I'm sure that's exactly what was in the cards for what he wanted for a birthday present, as the Sylvan Lake Gulls just did what they do best. And you know what? Get on the bats early and keep it going. And I don't know what I was doing there, but Jaden Flores was celebrating with his team as he had a absolute huge bomb out in left field. Sully had a great job celebrating, obviously, with all his mascot buddies. And, you know, the Sylvan Lake Gulls they just look comfortable out there. That's now 2 straight nights in a row that they have won 8-0 over the Swift Current 57. So it's going to be interesting to see what they have in store when the top Mad Hat team comes in on Tuesday. For Jim Claggett, I'm Cale Clark, and the whole broadcast crew at FloCollege. We've had the pleasure with another Bird's Eye View. Have a good night.